Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. I want to get into this right away. This is some of the most bullish crypto news for the price, not for the
development of it.
Not for the development of Bitcoin or any crypto, but this is some of the most bullish news for the price I've ever covered. Get into it.
Yeah, so we caught this one thanks to Eric Voorhees, but it came out that Secretary Yellen said this. It is imperative that Congress address the debt limit. If not, our current estimate is the Treasury will likely exhaust its extraordinary measures by October 18th. America would default for the first time in history.
Yes.
Was it the first time?
I think they might have defaulted in 1971, as Eric Voorhees points out. He says this is the second time in history. That was when Nixon took the U.S. off the gold standard. Okay, so that from the time that the U.S. was off the gold standard, the U.S. dollar has lost an incredible amount of its value because there was literally gold kind of kept central banks in check a little bit. That's why they created the Vietnam War. It's because the main reason for the Vietnam War wasn't because of communism or whatever. It was because they needed to increase the money supply. What it's actually called, it's currency. What they print is currency. They don't print money. So let me go over a couple of these things, and I'm going to explain to you why this is so incredibly bullish. Okay, so this article was back in December 16th, 2020. It says, according to a graph from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, just over 35% of all American dollars, US dollars, ever printed by the US government has been printed over the last 10 months. Okay, let me go over another article. Okay, here is another article written July 2020. It says, here is quotations. The United States printed more money, currency, in June than in the first 2 centuries after its founding. Last month, which would be June 2020, the U.S. budget deficit, $864 billion, was larger than the total debt incurred from 1776 through the end of 1779. Now, why am I going over this, guys? It's because they will never quit printing, all right? They will never, not only will they never quit printing, but they will constantly increase their debt limits. Right now, the U.S. debt is, the U.S. national debt is $28.8 trillion, okay? Now, these people are bickering over like a debt limit. Let me just tell you that there is no oversight between the Federal Reserve, Congress, the Treasury. There's zero oversight. They can do whatever they want. They can print as much currency as they want. They all own, the Federal Reserve and the Treasury are essentially one entity. Now, what does this mean? Where is this going? A lot of people are like, oh, okay, so the U.S. just keeps doing this forever. Well, yes, but they're going to do it a different way, and this is where they implement the CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies, and this is how. With a central bank digital currency, you don't have any transparency. It's a totally closed source, non-transparent blockchain.
It's very transparent for them.
For them, it's easy. Yeah. You can see whatever is going on, but for us, we're not going to know anything, right? And so what this is going to do is it's going to allow them to literally print whatever they want, even more so than they are now.
Have much more control over what they're printing as well.
Exactly. So it's all about the ease of printing more and more currency to devalue citizens' currency that they hand out. And it's also about more control. As Heidi has pointed out, with China, they are allowed to turn off the currency. Have an expiration date on their currency if they need to increase economic spending. Can you imagine that, having a expiration date on your currency, so it forces you to spend your currency, and it's all tied into a social credit system? That's going to be a lot of fun. So with that said, this is why I'm incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, because first of all, people are going to see this and go, it's just going to kind of reiterate, wow, the US is in a lot of trouble. Plus the US is a global reserve currency. Where do you think nations are going to go? Because they're going to see this and they're going to be really scared. And so, for instance, El Salvador, made Bitcoin legal tender. You're going to see a mass exodus out of US dollars into Bitcoin, in my opinion. I think this is just the beginning of it, especially now when they even talked about default. You don't hear a lot of times that the Federal Reserve is talking about defaulting on the debt. And so, it's going to scare a lot of creditors as well. And, what would you want to do if you were a creditor? I'd probably want to get out of the US dollar as fast as possible and find a harder asset, which is the Bitcoin, is the hardest asset in the history of the world, which we keep pounding on everybody's head. But yeah, I see this as an incredibly bullish, mind-boggling bullish article, and it's only going to get more bullish than this. So this is why we say dollar cost average into Bitcoin. Don't care about the price of Bitcoin. We haven't seen anything yet. I mean, literally, nobody's going to be able to print Bitcoin. Guys, you mine it, and you have the law of diminishing returns when it comes to mining as well, with the difficulty levels being exponentially harder, especially every 4 years after the halving. I can't believe that they even mentioned default. So yeah, if you're a US citizen, make sure that you do not hold all of your assets in one country. That is one really good thing to kind of implement in your life, is to really make sure that you do have money outside of the US, because you don't want to hold all your eggs in one basket in the most indebted country in the history of the world. Anyways, that's all I have to say. If you like, subscribe and like this, and please check out our Patreon if you want to see our trade alerts, our portfolio with on our CT Club. The link is below. Anyways, stay disobedient, and I'll see you later. Bye.